I want to say 2 weeks, but I'm going to aim for shorter than that. I'm not going to be able to put in the. I want to get most of it done ready for that part, and then see if I've got time to throw in a really shitty Steam leaderboard thing.
I see.
But then from that, I'm going to update the rest of my plan. Actually, no, I'm
Just
going to
click
probably do that
OK.
tonight a bit, and then
Great.
tomorrow.
Now this image has been moved
So I need
under
the
the
actual
eyes control bone.
schedule. I keep
Let's
putting it
do
off
the
too
same
much.
for the front
You ever
blush
feel like burnt out, like you don't
and
want to
for
do
the
it?
mouth as
anything?
well.
Not burnt out,
Awesome.
but wanting to avoid setting the actual timelines for stuff because I know it's inevitable that I'm going to have to cut out bits that I want to put in.
Sure.
Now if you'll move the head control bone, the whole face will move together with it. However, the 3D effect doesn't look convincing yet. What we need to do now is
This
to
shit is
make the
weird.
hair move as well. So, I'm selecting the first bone of the front part of the hair and creating a new transform constraint.
Yeah, what the hell? He has
Picking
like
the
the
head front
compression
control bone and
socks, like on his knees. You know what I
naming the new
mean? But like
constraint
this
as
guy
hair
can't
front
do shit. This is like the biggest poser
Do you
I've
think
ever
you, like-
seen.
Yeah, it started like a week or two before the show.
Yeah,
I
like
thought
I
about
have
it
a
for months
compression
before.
on my knee because I have a fucked up knee. I'm not like wearing it because I'm like, yo, check out this Steez. What a fucking loser. I hate that guy. Oh my god.
control. Alright, now click in Match and changing the translation parameter to 15%. Again, I got this number by trial and error. Let's test the result. It starts to look better, right? Now I'm doing the same for the second part of the hair, here on the side. Creating a new constraint, naming it as hair side control, and setting the influence to 5%. And only. Awesome. And finally, let's create the last constraint. It's going to be the one for the ponytail, and it will be a bit different.
He's
First,
not okay with
let's
it?
select the upper bone of
She's
the
not,
ponytail and create a new transform
Why?
constraint.
He's not black.
Okay. Now, because the ponytail is located at the back of the head, let's constrain it to the head back control. Good. Naming the new constraint, ponytail control. Then click in Match and setting the influence to 50%. Fantastic. Now when we move the head control bone, most of the head images are moving as well. It starts to look like Astrid is turning her face towards us.
Weird bug,
However, the head itself doesn't seem to move yet, and we're going to make that happen in the next lecture. So, see you there! However, the head itself moved the head control bone, new constraint, Ponytail Control. Then click in Match and setting the influence to 50%.
Did he say it?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. But then he also defended him saying it right afterwards.
Because he said the N word? Who gives a shit? What the fuck?
I think that chick does get kicked off really quick. She's like just against anything that's like outrageous or like offensive.
That's so boring.
Yeah, to be on a show like this, where everyone's just schizophrenic crackheads. Wait, what?
Jesus Christ. Uh,
Actually, the thing about Minx, the blue hair chick as well, is just fucking smart and like plays the game well.
In order for the images to bend in certain areas, we need to bind their meshes to the bones. Right now, if you'll try to rotate some of the bones, like this one on the hair for example, it wouldn't affect the image in any way. It means that this bone is not bound to the mesh of the image. And to fix that, we will use the weights tool here below. In this course, you are going to learn several different ways of using the weights tool. For now, let's start with the easiest one. Same as we did with the meshes, I'll take the back shoe as an example. Let's click on the mesh and then select the weights tool. OK, a new view has appeared on the right. Now, to bind the bones to the mesh, let's click the bind button here below, and then pick the shoe bones one by one. The bones that you've picked have appeared in the list over here. Once you've picked all the relevant bones, just click the bind button once again. Perfect! That's it! The bones have been bound to the mesh.
That was good.
You can see that the shoe bones have colors now,
Yeah,
and the vertices have become pie charts.
I think
the color of the vertices shows us how much influence a certain bone has on this area of the mesh.
Last contestants, and then
when you pick the bones and bind them to the mesh, Spine automatically calculates the amount of influence for each bone. It does a pretty good job actually, and in most of the cases you won't need to do anything beyond that. Now let's switch to the rotate tool and test the result. Nice! The shoe is bending in the central area here, and it looks pretty good to me. Alright, so that it does a pretty good job. job actually, and in most of the cases you won't need to do anything beyond that. Meshes with 2 or more bones. I'm selecting the cell. We're going to calculate the weights only for meshes with 2 or more bones. I'm selecting the skirt mesh this time, clicking Bind, then picking both of the skirt bones, and clicking Bind again. Awesome. If you'll again. Awesome. If you'll switch to the Weights tool again, you'll see the calculated weights for the vertices. Great. Next, I'm proceeding to the chest plate. Currently, this mesh is controlled by the long bone here, but I want it to be controlled by the small bone here in the center. The procedure is the same as before, but we are selecting only the small bone this time. Good. I'm going to do the same for the head and the hair now, with the exception of the ponytail. We're going to deal with the ponytail a bit later. Then I'll also bind the bone.
You eat anything?
No, I didn't. But I'd have to go to the gym and then go get groceries and make it. I'm way too lazy. And I'm too lazy. Just got a bunch of excuses.
Should I get some like protein powder in or something for those times? So it's a quick and easy one that gets rid of a lot of the antsiness and anxiety.
I find Huel is a good one.
Fuel?
Meal replacement drink. Huel, yeah. Like human fuel.
You're right.
Oh, we're making shaders now, huh?
Can't you use a VFX graph?
I'm just watching Bounce Castle on Steam. SteamPowered.com.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
do that.
That's what I've been doing. I just can't stop looking at this girl. She has wonderful hair.
Pause.
Yeah, she's really
Pause.
nice.
She seems like a nice girl.
Yeah,
Pause.
I wonder if she has kids.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I still got a shot.
Why? Are you not allowed around kids?
No, it's when they have kids, they're more likely to say have a spouse or something, you know.
Bro did not hold back.
You still struggling to find someone, Jesse?
My whole life,
Jesse, aren't
man.
you like 31?
Yep.
Bro,
Bro,
almost 40, brother.
If you're 31 and you haven't found a relation, my chances are 0. I'm dead. Fuck it,
Oh
I'm done.
man. Yeah, maybe you're fucked.
I am.
That sucks, man.
Better to have loved and lost.
Is that
I
true,
haven't
though?
loved at all. I fucking haven't loved at all, bro.
Yeah, you're right. It is better to have loved and lost.
Because then, you get to
Bones to
Yeah,
the
you
kid
got some
hear
really
about it
good
constantly.
sex. Wait, what's that?
I said because then you get to make everybody have to
Alright,
hear about
now
it
we have
constantly.
most of the meshes.
Oh,
You like that?
I really-
you like how I kind of you like how I kind
yeah,
of
that was like
Made
pretty
that.
mean, actually.
Alright,
Yeah,
now we have
like,
most of the
that's, like,
meshes
something I
bound to the
haven't really
bones.
done.
In the
Yeah.
next lecture, we're going to make the
You know,
ponytail bend
it
smoothly
just, like,
by
wasn't very
binding the bones to the
nice.
I
ponytail
know
band.
I was a bit
See you
cutting,
soon.
but it was
No, it's just
it was
like kind of,
fun.
no, that was really not fun. Like, did anyone think that was funny?
Alright, in this lecture we're going to make the ponytail bend.
Shit. Fuck.
This is going to be
I'm on
a
the-
bit
I'm on
different
the-
from what we've
the
done
wrong side of
before,
history here.
because it
Well,
will
I did
involve
say it
the
was gonna be
use
my
of
villain
the
era.
path. But first, let's do the part that you're already familiar with. Selecting the mesh, then clicking bind, and picking each one of these small bones one by one. Make sure you don't select the large bones by mistake. Great! Now clicking bind again, and the weights are calculated automatically. Awesome! As I mentioned in the lecture about the path constraints, these small bones control the mesh, while the path controls the small bones, and these large bones control the path. We need this hierarchy to keep the curve smooth and round. So basically, we've just completed the first step, binding
Oh,
the
look,
smaller
it's two
bones
people
to
I
the
hate
mesh.
most.
It's
Now let's
47
proceed to the
degrees
larger
right now.
bones and the path. The thing is,
Celsius.
you can
47
bind
degrees
bones to the
Celsius.
path pretty much the
Yeah.
same way as you bind bones to a mesh.
Two people you hate the most. What
You
are
need to use
talking
the
about?
same
You just
weight
can't just throw
tool
that
as
out there.
before. But how the weights will be calculated if there are no vertices?
Dread dude.
Well, the weights distribution
Fucking
could still be possible
Jer-
if we would apply
Jerem-
weights to the knots and the handles on the path.
You hate.
Jerome.
You
The
hate
problem
those
is
people?
that unlike with the mesh, the
Yep.
weights cannot be calculated
why?
automatically for the path. You can see that the auto weight
One
option
doesn't know how
is
to shut the
disabled
fuck
in the
up.
weights view.
Okay.
And though we've
He
done
goes on a
exactly
rant
the same
about
steps as with
how
the meshes,
AI is
the
the
lower
worst
bones
thing to
still do
ever
not
happen,
affect the
blah, blah.
ponytail in any way. What shall we do then? Well, we'll have to go over each one of the handles and knots and assign them weights manually this time. I'm making sure that the weights tool is selected, then going to the path and choosing the second knot from the top. Good. Now clicking it. In this lecture, we're going to rig the ponytail. This part is quite special because it should be even more bendy than the cape. We should keep all these curves round, even while stretching and bending them, so that the bend looks natural. This is why for this part of the rig, we will have to use a technique that is a bit more advanced than the one we've used for the cape. And by the way, this new technique that I'm about to show you is really useful not only for rigging the hair, but also for other bendy objects like ropes, tentacles, and even snakes. Ready? Okay. First, let's start from something familiar, creating bones along the hair length, one by one. Each bone ends at the bend point for the ponytail, like here and here. Alright, I think 4 bones will do. Awesome. And now for something new. We're going to draw a line on top of the ponytail, following the curves. The line is called a path, and we're going to constrain the ponytail bones to follow the path. Well, let me just show you what I mean. I'm selecting the hair backbone, then going to the tree view and clicking New, Path. A new window pops up, and I'm naming the new path as Ponytail Movement. Pressing Enter. Great! The new path has been added to the hierarchy, and the editor has switched to the Edit Path mode. What we need to do now is
Emphasize their developers to use it more so that it can get more training data and become better.
Sad. They're just all they want to do is replace people. Fucking sad.
That was always easily replaceable. It wasn't like if I was like so worth keeping around, you know, then the AI couldn't replace me.
Yeah, make yourself irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Where's replaceable into you yet?
Yeah, he's the replaceable one.
Why is this happening?
Well, that's Malachi. Definitely. He's probably asleep. Oh, there's a replaceable. Speak of the devil.
Yeah. What you said
No one
about
was
me,
talking.
cuz?
No one was talking about you.
What you said about me, cuz? Then why would he say that? Why would he say that?
He's the only one he mentioned you. He's like, where's replaceable?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 second. What were you saying?
Some racist shit.
We were talking about people being replaceable via AI, and then the mere fact that we were talking about people
Ah.
being replaceable made us be like, well, where is replaceable?
Whoa.
And that is the end of the story.
I was making a stir fry.
And you
Never
didn't make
really
me
remember
any?
Everybody?
I'm sorry. I didn't make anyone else.
Fantastic. Now when we move the head, it will be a
How
bit
dare you.
different. First,
Yep.
What's happened, bro?
How's everything going?
Terrible. Thank you for asking.
It's going terrible. Why? What happened?
His name is Jesse.
He's a loner,
That's
and the
true.
loner's got to be alone.
That's true. I am very
Said the
alone.
loner is gonna be alone. Crazy.
is to draw a
isn't the
line
Summer
on
Game
top of the
Fest tonight?
ponytail. Let's start from the round tip
I'll
of
see
the
you.
first ponytail bone
Fest.
and click right on top of this
Release
small
date.
circle.
No, it's
Good.
next.
Then let's click on top
Friday.
of the circle
Okay, so
of
what's
the
the
next
next
bone.
date of play?
Great.
2026.
Now you can see that an orange
So
curve
I
has
got
been
about
created.
10. I got
This is
about
the
10
path that I was
days
talking
until,
about. At the
get
moment,
evicted from
it
the
doesn't
house.
follow the shape of the ponytail, but we will
What
fix
can we
that
do?
in a minute. Let's continue drawing the
Why
path
is
by
checkmate
clicking on
not
top of the next
available?
circle. And then another one.
Oh.
And the last point should be at the lower tip
kind
of the
of
last
did.
Give me
ponytail
$1
bone.
million app that
Awesome.
I can make
Now
money
let's adjust the
with.
path curves so that they
Money.
correspond with the ponytail curves.
This didn't even include.
I'm choosing the Create tool in the toolbar here below and zooming in with the mouse wheel. Alright,
You people make
back-
money?
Doesn't include this scenario, bro. Shit's so convoluted. Sorry for talking to myself. I'm sorry.
Let them
How dare
cry.
you.
My bad. Wait, but game context type is not.
You know, I've been watching Family Guy recently.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
any
I've not-
getting good again?
I don't know. I've been watching like the newest seasons. They're not necessarily the amount of cutaways is like crazy reduced compared to the older versions. It's actually nuts. Like there were like
What
3
was it?
cutaways in the whole episode.
Quite frankly, I would definitely agree that the older stuff is kind of better.
Really? I think the cutaways
Yeah.
sucked. I think the older stuff's just like this constant derailing of pacing.
No, I was talking for Family Guy. My bad.
That's what we're
I was talking about Family Guy too.
Yeah, wait, what? I'm not even fucking paying attention. I gather that much.
What? Okay. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't
No,
say
my
that
bad,
the
my
newer
bad.
stuff is better. That's all I can say. Is I can't say that the older stuff is better. Sorry. I
honestly
can't say
much
the newer
prefer
stuff is
the-
better. My bad.
I prefer the
I'm
newer
not
stuff.
speaking well today.
You can't do anything right.
I know, man. It's fucking breaking me in half.
Yeah. God,
Killing me.
kill me, kill me.
Daring is a bad Lisa.
Okay. One fix, good. It's his turn. And then he has no moves left. Okay, and then test goop.
Yeah.
Man, I totally forget about the other half of this fucking thing. Why am I such an idiot?
Stupid.
Seriously.
Fuck, man. I hate that shit. I had $1 billion for you, and I'd spend it all.
I need
Why?
nicotine.
Path curves are controlled by the handles, and to make the adjustment of the last ponytail bone. Awesome. Now let's adjust the path curves so that they correspond with the ponytail curve. Start the edit path as each bone ends also for other bendy objects like ropes, tentacles, and even snakes. Ready?
And I tried making
Okay.
this as dynamic as
First,
possible.
let's start from something familiar, creating bones along
For
the
some
hair
reason,
length,
I still feel
one
like I
by one.
failed.
Each bone ends at the bend point for the ponytail, like here and here.
You know what? I'm turning the
Alright,
bounce castle.
I think 4 bones will do.
Huh?
Awesome.
You hurt my
And
did
now
feelings.
for
one there?
something new.
No, I did. I was.
We're going to draw
fooling.
a
I
line
hurt my
on top
feelings
of
really
the
bad,
ponytail,
and now
No, I
following the
don't.
curve.
I'm sorry.
Even
I'm sorry.
Worse.
I'm
Even
sorry. I'll
worse
say
than
it
before.
directly. I'm sorry to have made light.
What's happening now?
It made me feel worse, and you can't take it back.
I want to.
We
You
might
made you
double
feel-
down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks.
The
I
line is
keep you on
called
the
a
table?
path, and we're going to constrain the
Yeah,
ponytail
I was gonna say if
bones
you're gonna
to
double
follow
down
the
after I
path.
said sorry, I think I'm just gonna go back and just say, just tell you. You know what? I'm not sorry anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he is sorry. I don't think he is, and I'm.
wa- I-
turning
No,
on
no,
this
no.
thing.
If you
I
if you don't think
didn't
he is sorry, then I don't think you deserve the apology.
Good, good.
I-
I don't want the apology. It hurt. It already did the damage. You see what I'm saying? The apology is negligible. It doesn't
This
take back
is-
my feelings. I'm crushed right now. I'm fucking
This-
destroyed.
Has taken a turn that I was not prepared for, right? And it's gonna make me more cautious in the future, really. I'm gonna be walking on eggshells.
Oh my god. You're digging yourself into the fagula hole right now.
Into the what?
The fegula hole?
He had to get further away from the microphone because I've irritated him so much, and this is more than I can handle.
Did you say the fegula hole?
Yeah, the fegula hole, yeah.
What the hell is
Okay.
that?
You don't
Do
want to
not
be
wanna
in
be in
there.
the fagula hole again. I
You
don't
do
wanna
not want
Yeah,
to be in the
it-
fegula hole.
You made it sound like it was more of a pegla hole.
Oof. That's phase 2.
Let's see. I need to be able to. You know what? If I could just change this in there, then I don't need. I don't know what I'm doing with that. Yeah, if I could just do that, it's fine. I really do feel like, though, I should make some sort of an array so I could just pick between these. Just drag and dropping, it feels so inefficient. You know,
Here you go. Here's a little yid for you. It's a great word. Use that in public, please.
Oh. Oh. So
Do
that's
not
what
want to be in that
means.
hole. Yeah. It's pretty much exactly what you thought it would be.
Yeah.
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 I mean, yeah, I kind of assumed as such, but I didn't. Oh, and on Pride Month. Oh,
Well, I'm actually topping the charts right now. You know how many dicks I have in my tuchus?
I'm hoping
More than 10.
more than 0, less than 5.
No. Then I would not be on the top of the charts.
You think that someone could fit more than 5 up there?
I don't think that.
You've seen it.
I know that.
Yeah. It's happening right
Seen
now,
things.
bud.
Wow.
Hey, Deshaun, can you slow down a bit? I need to keep these all in. Okay.
Deshaun.
Yeah, that's just one of my stumpers.
So what they're called? Is it like a profession?
Yeah.
And also, if you
professional
were,
stumper.
wouldn't you want to have like a bunch of pencils rather than like
What? Say it. What?
I'm trying to think of like a large pencil-shaped object.
Why are you assuming Deshaun has a large one?
Well, I'm just saying
What?
there's like probably a correlation, right?
What?
Just basing it
I'm-
on averages, man.
Averages of what? I need you to spell this out for me. Why?
No, I don't really want to do that. I just had
Okay.
dinner.
It's just that the implications aren't looking very good for you right now.
It's alright. I can live with that.
Yeah. Now I feel like I'm walking on fucking eggshells. Oh my god. Oh.
Why?
Because I don't have anxiety meds. That's it. That's gonna solve all.
Well,
my
if you
problems.
wanna really walk on eggshells, there's always the cool below. That'll be fun.
Yeah, maybe I should check that out.
You know, he thinks that. Oh no,
Dude, the combo was just ugly.
nightmare.
Yeah, a couple people were just using a different accent, and because of the different mindsets of how they see the usage of it, they like their views are just their perspectives conflict because they're polar opposites, right?
What do you
One
mean by
just
that?
well, one sees it as it's okay because it's found everywhere, and the other one says, "I'm upset that I don't like that everyone's using it, and it's always used in a very derogatory way."
I feel
I
like
mean,
I'm kind of missing a beat.
They both have a good point, but I think they're only going to agree to disagree.
Oh, I'm,
Oh,
now
it
I'm
said
curious.
it's.
I want to see
Oh,
what's up.
I
I'm gonna go visit the.
I don't think they're
Quagmire.
doing it anymore, but I only left because of that.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out then.
Yeah. Got what I did wrong. Instead of putting on the side. Meant to be held up like that. Maybe that would kind of make sense. Everyone's just leaving, huh? Alright.
Damn, that guy sucked. Easy, do you have a Git attributes file in any of your projects or Bounce Castle?
The attributes?
Yeah,
Um,
I'm gonna guess no if you don't. If you're
yeah, I don't
unfamiliar
know.
with-
I haven't manually put anything in.
Okay,
Oh, get attributes. Yeah, actually, it just comes default, doesn't it?
does it?
It's like a default thing when you set up a Git project.
Do not go in that other channel. It is crazy.
How so?
This Von Dread guy is just yelling at everyone.
Oh shit! I kind of want to hear that.
Go for it. He has me muted. He also has replaceable muted.
Oh shit!
He says he likes to have like a conversation, like a back and forth, but I don't think he does.
All right, I'm gonna go take a peek. I'm putting on my mute to
Have fun.
be sneaky.
Okay.
Well, let me just show you what I mean. I'm selecting the hair backbone, then going to the tree view and clicking New, Path. A new window pops up and I'm naming the new path as Ponytail Movement. Pressing Enter. Great! The new path has been added to the hierarchy and the editor has switched to the Edit Path mode. What we need to do now is to draw a line on top of the ponytail. Let's start from the round tip of the first ponytail bone and click right on top of this small circle. Good. Switch to the Edit Path mode. What we need to do now and great tail movement. New window pops up and click New Path. A new window pops up and I'm naming
Shit's busted. It's funny because I recognize like the kind of energy that Von Dread guy bringing to the table, and I know it's not. It ain't it. Sneezy, do you have any active branches off of Master?
No, not other
Okay,
than the one we're working on.
All right, so let's not use that one anymore.
How was the conversation? Came back pretty quick.
Double check.
Me?
Yeah, did you like it?
No, I was just saying that I recognize that kind of energy from Von Dread as one that is not
See.
to be engaged with.
Okay, I'm gonna watch cartoons.
So, today I'm rigging the Aristo Spider using my favorite 2D animation tool, Spine 2D. Haven't touched this thing in forever, so naturally I'm brushing up on how it works. Step 1. Export all the pieces from Illustrator, because apparently spiders need a lot of legs. Then I import them into Spine with a script, like a pro. Next, I place all the pieces together, because, you know, a spider without legs is just weird. After that, it's time to build the bone structure. Yes, even spiders have bones here. And then some fancy inverse kinematics to make sure it moves like it's supposed to. But hey, it's not over yet. There's always more. So, see you next time. So, to sounds impossible, right? But here's the secret. Start with something small. No, smaller than that. Finish it. Publish it. It won't make you a millionaire, but hey, at least you'll know what you're doing next time. Do it, then repeat. Who knows? Maybe you'll even sleep eventually.
Bit of a heat up real quick. stay there.
Daniel.
In the new path as ponytail movement. The new technique that I'm about to show you is really useful not only for rigging the hair, but also for other bendy objects like ropes, tentacles, and even snakes. Ready? Okay. First, let's start from something familiar, creating bones along the hair length, one by one. Each bone ends at the bend point for the ponytail, like here and here. Alright, I think 4 bones will do. Awesome! And now for something new. We're going to draw a line on top of the ponytail, following the curves. The line is called a path, and we're going to constrain the ponytail bones to follow the path. Well, let me just show you what I mean. I'm selecting the hair backbone, then going to the tree view and clicking New, Path. A new window pops up, and I'm naming the new path as Ponytail Movement. Pressing Enter. Great! The new path has been added to the hierarchy, and a new path as Ponytail Path. A new window pops up. And I'm naming the new path as Ponytail Movement. Pressing Enter. Great! The new path has been added to the hierarchy, and the editor has switched to the Edit Path mode. What we need to do now is to draw a line on top of the ponytail. Let's start from the round tip of the first ponytail bone and click right on top of this small circle. Good. Then let's click on top of the circle of the next bone. Great. Now you can see that an orange curve has been created. This is the path that I was talking about. At the moment, it doesn't follow the shape of the ponytail, but we will fix that in a minute. Let's continue drawing the path by clicking on top of the next circle. And then another one. And the last point should be at the lower tip of the last ponytail bone. Awesome! Now let's adjust the path curves so that they correspond with the ponytail curves. I'm choosing the Create tool in the toolbar here below and zooming in with the mouse wheel. Alright, the path curves are controlled by the handles, and to make the adjustments, I'm clicking on the handle here and dragging it upwards, like so. You can see that the path follows the shape of an image now. Let's go ahead and do the same for the rest of the curves. Here, you can control the width of the curve by making the handle longer. Good. Same about here and here. And a couple of final adjustments here below. Great! Now closing the Edit Path window to save the path. Fantastic! Alright, so now you've created a path on top of the ponytail, and you have 4 bones to control it with. Is that enough? Well, no. We'll need to create another set of bones to ensure that the ponytail will bend smoothly. And we're going to make these new bones follow the path. So, I'm switching to the Create tool, selecting the hair backbone, and creating a very long bone, like so. Good. You might have guessed what we're going to do now. Clicking Split, and creating 12 smaller bones out of this one. Making sure that the nested checkbox is checked, and clicking OK. Nice! We have created a chain of bones. Now let's go ahead and make them follow the path. I'm making sure that all these new bones are selected, then going to the tree view and clicking New, Path Constraint. Then I need to pick a path, so I'm clicking on the path. Nice. Selecting the hair backbone and creating a very long bone, like so. Good. You might have guessed what we're going to do now. Clicking Split and creating 12 smaller bones created a chain of bones. Now let's go ahead . and make them follow the path. I'm making sure that all these new bones are selected, then going to the tree view and clicking New, Path Constraint. Then I need to pick a path, so I'm clicking on the path that we've created earlier. Then I need to enter a new Path Constraint. Then I need to pick a path, so I'm clicking on the path that we've created earlier. Then I need to enter a name for the path constraint. Ponytail movement looks fine to me, so I'm clicking OK. Great! You can see that the bones have been moved to the path, and they're following the path shape. However, they used to look like a chain before, and now they are separated. That will affect the way the ponytail bends, so let's fix it. I'm going to the tree view on the right, and in the mixed section below, changing tangent to chain scale. Perfect! Now the bones look like a chain once again. The rig for the ponytail is now complete. We've done a lot of things here, so let me summarize. The ponytail movement is going to be controlled by these large bones on the top, but they will not control the ponytail directly. Instead, they will control the path, which is in turn controls a set of smaller bones. And lastly, these small bones control the ponytail mesh. You might ask, why do we need so many steps? Why can't we just create one set of smaller bones, just like they will not control the ponytail directly? Instead, they will control the path, which is in turn controls a set of smaller bones at top, but they will not control the ponytail directly. Instead, they will control the path, which is in turn controls a set of smaller bones. And lastly, these small bones control the ponytail mesh. You might ask, why do we need so many steps? Why can't we just create one set of smaller bones, just like we did before? Well, you could do that, but it will be much harder to keep the curves round, the mesh is likely to get distorted, and the animation process will take a lot more time. Therefore, I highly recommend using path and path constraints for bendy elements such as ponytail or tentacles. That brings us to the end of this lecture. I hope you found it useful. In the next lecture, we're going to create a rig for the face and learn about the transform constraints. See you in the next one! Alright, in this lecture we're going to make the ponytail bend. This is going to be a bit different from what we've done before, because it will involve the use of the path. But first, let's do the part that you're already familiar with. Selecting the mesh, then clicking Bind, and picking each one of these small bones one by one. Bend. This is going to... Alright, in this lecture but first, let's do the part that you're already familiar with. Selecting the mesh, then clicking Bind. And picking each one of these small bones one by one. Make sure you don't select the large bones by mistake. Great! Now clicking Bind again, and the weights are calculated automatically. Awesome! As I mentioned in the lecture about the path constraints, these small bones control the mesh, while the path controls controls the small bones, and these large bones control the path. We need this hierarchy to keep the curve smooth and round. So basically, we've just completed the first step, binding the smaller bones to the mesh. Now let's proceed to the larger bones and the path. The thing is, you can bind bones to the path pretty much the same way as you bind to the mesh. Now let's proceed to keep the curve smooth. Smooth and round. So basically, we've just completed the first step, binding the smaller bones to the mesh. Now let's proceed to the larger bones and the path. The thing is, you can bind bones to the path pretty much the same way as you bind bones to a mesh. You need to use the same weights tool as before. But how the weights will be calculated if there are no vertices? Well, the weights distribution could still be possible if we would apply weights to the knots and the handles on the path. The problem is that unlike with the mesh, the weights cannot be calculated automatically for the path. You can see that the auto weight option is disabled in the weights view. And though we've done exactly the same steps as with the meshes, the lower bones still do not affect the ponytail in any way. What shall we do then? Well, we'll have to go over each one of the handles and knots and assign them weights manually this time. I'm making sure that the weights tool is selected, then going to the path and choosing the second knot from the top. Good. Now click in it and go into the weights view. You can see that the blue bone has 100% influence over this knot. But because this knot is located on the intersection between the blue and the pink bones, I want to split the influence equally between them. I'm choosing the ponytail 2 bone in the list, then going to the weight parameter here above and changing it from 0 to 50. Awesome! Now you can see that each one of these bones has 50% influence over the knot. Now let's proceed to the vertex here on the handle. This one is located close to the pink bone and far from any influence over the knot. Now let's proceed to the vertex here on the handle. This one is see that each one of these bones has 50% influence over the knot. Now let's proceed to the vertex here on the handle. This one is located close to the pink bone and far from any other bone. So I believe it should be controlled by the pink bone only. I'm selecting the ponytail 2 in the list, then clicking and holding the left mouse key and dragging it upwards. This is another way to change the weight parameter value. Dragging the mouse upwards will increase it, and dragging it down will reduce it. Alright, now I'm doing the same for the next handle, increasing the influence of the pink bone to 100%. But this handle is getting closer to the next bone in the list, So I want to give that bone 25% influence. Great! I'm going to keep assigning weights for the rest of the nodes and vertices. Since it is more of the same process, I'm going to speed up the video for you. Great! We have Great! We have completed all of the necessary steps to bend the ponytail mesh. Now let's put it to the test. Well, it doesn't look too bad, but
Doing
we
a social
definitely can improve.
experiment right now to see if anybody joins in here and starts talking shit to me. But how are you guys doing? Darvo.
Make games too much, so
you
I
want
don't
a
get.
challenge?
I don't
Make a
get
game
with
for
the
Tamagotchi.
times.
Get a load of this guy. Get a
You
load
don't
of
have
this
an
guy.
original Tamagotchi in the box from 1997? How
No,
dare you?
Yeah,
but I
unopened.
This guy
had
fucking sucks,
N64.
actually.
So good.
I did have an N64.
That's
Damn.
someone.
That's
What's
all.
64 divided by 2?
Someone got you.
7.
Wait, I
Plus a
also
few
had
numbers.
I also have a Xbox 360,
It
You never
is
had an
bucket
Xbox 360?
PlayStation.
and I have an
Was that your
Oculus Rift.
was that your first game console?
Wait, what?
Wait, how old are you?
360.
Huh?
How old are you?
No.
You're gonna get banned. He's definitely underage.
Yeah, you're gonna get
Alright.
killed.
Dog. Why are you talking about my
Killed
age?
and killed.
Why is literally every chat like suddenly like trying to figure out my age?
You want to
Man,
get
you
killed or not?
sound like a squeaker, but you don't sound like
It's
a
probably
squeaker.
when
You
you
know
tell
what
them
I'm
you don't know what a
saying?
Tamagotchi is.
Dude,
Possibly.
can you all just like get away from the topic of my age? That's kind of creepy.
That's
Not
what it says
really.
here, I would say.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's exactly what the Undertaker said.
That's exactly what it
You're
says.
still an embryo. I
This
understand it.
Saturday night.
You goddamn youngins.
I
How
got
old are
another
you
question.
actually, Germs? You gotta be like 20s, right?
Yeah, 20. I'm 25.
Yeah.
You're still a baby too.
Oof.
I'm still young.
Oof.
Not as young as
You guys
Telkintech.
are young.
You're almost 30, man.
Hey, Telkintech, can
Guys
you
are
sound
Dude, I'm
out?
like 60.
Telkintech, can you sound out the PS1 intro for me? I'm trying to see something.
That's fucking awesome.
How to make piano noises with your mouth.
I know part of the Halo
You're
theme
getting
song.
banned. Yeah.
You're getting killed.
So,
I actually never played on the PS1. Well, I did
Huh?
probably, but I was fucking brain dead, so I didn't remember anything of it.
Gary,
My
how did you
real
get-
first
I never had
console,
one.
my real
You
first
gave-
console was the PlayStation 2.
Dude, I remember playing Super Mario like 64 on the N64. It was like
guys
a
are
blast. Like
plebs.
the
Goss.
first.
Yeah, but that's
3D
like
one.
Gamers.
when I
Fucking
played on the
gosh.
PlayStation 2, that was actually the console. That was actually the console that was out at that time. The N64 was before I was spawned. So if I were to play that, it would. I played on the
He
what the
was
fuck?
merely a
What I
twinkle
don't.
in
I
his
forget the
parents'
fucking. I played on the Nintendo where you had to blow into the cart in order to fucking have it work. I forgot what it was called.
Wait, are you that young, Gary? I thought you were
the
older than that.
Sega.
Legit.
My dad.
No, just the
my
Nintendo
dad,
fucking.
my
I think
dad
it was
had
the
a Game
Nintendo
Boy.
64.
Show me this guy's balls.
But when I played that, it was already old, so it didn't really make any
Yeah,
sense to
you
say.
did a lot of blowing though, didn't you? Because it was that old.
I actually didn't. It was it was the,
Well, there
the
you go.
friend
You didn't
the
fall
friend
for
I
the
was
trap.
with. He did a lot of blowing on the fucking carts. Yeah.
Oh god.
My dad had like an N64 or something. I mean,
Yeah.
wait, no, a Game Boy. Yeah, a Game Boy.
Gosh, remember the Commodore 64?
But yeah, the real console I started with was PlayStation 2. I
Didn't
played
ask.
fucking GTA San Andreas on that shit. That was pretty good. I liked it.
Never. I only owned a console when I was the first time in my life was a PlayStation 2 from a thrift shop when I was 22 years old. First time.
Damn, Buster! What the fuck?
That's gonna throw you guys off for my
Yeah.
age.
What's
So,
your
yeah.
age? Like 30? 30, 20s? Give me like a range.
You can't ask about people's age when you don't tell people.
Oh, you were asking that. You were asking that about
No, I wasn't.
someone you clearly knew.
Yeah, because
was
I
under-
told
I
him
mean,
my.
both got a valid
Wait, did I?
Right.
critique.
It's literally
I'm not
the
willing to
point he
say
just
my
made.
age, but you were being very secretive. So
Yeah.
Dude, I was just being I'm being secretive.
If I know
because
what
that's
a
like
being
Tamagotchi
secretive.
private information.
it's not private information.
Here's a
What are you
hint.
talking about?
When did the Tamagotchi come out?
1997.
All right. So
in the States.
Yeah. Well,
see, if I remember the
May 1st,
Tamagotchi, I must have been
1997.
alive during the 90s at
Hang
the very
on.
least at this point.
Because you brought it back up. I wasn't going to do it the first time. Hang on.
Oh shit, he's got it in the box still.
That's a fucking Tamagotchi, dude.
What's your favorite
yeah, I don't
song?
like those things, to be honest.
It is.
The Tamagotchi. The first virtual pet type
Says it.
animal type digital.
Yeah. 1996
money
to
thing.
97.
How did you
Really?
go backwards? And then one of the next things was a fidget spinner.
No. I would say when I was a kid in school, what was popular was actually Pooh. You had this fucking app, and it was called Pooh, and it was a virtual pet, and that was basically the
Tamagotchi,
Tamagotchi version of my generation, so to speak. Yeah.
Virtual
Remember
pets
those,
were
like,
so cool, though. That
fixed
shit was so cool.
life bands, those power bands that people were buying, like the pseudoscience crap.
Dude, is this a good like binoculars thing? Like
Right
I'm
back.
literally just making the player like camera zoom, like by changing the font. I mean field of view.
Oh, this is Godot. Yuck. No, I'm joking. I actually don't know.
Bro, what do you have against Godot?
It was a joke.
I'm sorry, man. I don't understand sarcasm. It's one of my flaws.
First time meeting an Australian. Okay.
Wait, you're Australian?
Lying face. No.
I thought you said you were
You're in for
like
a fun
African
time,
or something.
mate.
Yeah. I'm an
Arr.
Australian citizen now.
But you're an African.
Yeah.
Then why'd you say you were Australian?
African by birth, Australian by citizenship.
Oh, you must be one of them African Australians.
That is correct. But you need to put a direction in the front.
South African Australian.
Yeah, there you go. There goes Ivy. Rip.
And another
Oh
one
shit.
bites the
Fon's
dust.
in the channel above. Feels bad
Yeah, I
for
saw that
Malachi
earlier.
And
I
Dennis.
was like, those guys are getting fucking hammered.
Oh,
He's
wow.
muted though.
Yeah, he's muted now.
Yeah,
Actually, nah, never mind.
Doodle-doom.
Beep beep poo poo.
Poo poo.
I want to render an actual sequence.
I wanna poo poo your pee pee.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh, I need to finish the film.
Wait, hold on. Do I need to make it at least 60 frames a second? No, I think that's wrong. Be right back.
Doodum.
I will ban y'all asses.
Germs ain't fucking around today. He's got a serious pants on.
Serious big boy pants, okay?
Mommy cleaned them yesterday. I'm good to go.
Yeah, mommy cleaned them yesterday.
Mummy milk. Fuck off.
Mommy, I don't want your
What
shit.
the fuck?
Mummy, where's Daddy? He
He ain't
fucked up.
fucking here. Right.
Daddy, when's Mummy coming home? She
Never
died.
fucking
'Cause of
coming
you.
back.
Kirby, why you always copying my shit, bro?
What? No, I'm adding on to it.
No. Don't do that.
Two flame grilled chicken thighs. You fuck with that?
You say chicken fries or chicken thighs?
Chicken thighs. Come on, chicken fries. The fuck?
I don't know. I had you turn way down. Now you're
Me?
just turned mostly down.
Oh,
Oh, why'd you turn it down?
what did I do? Yeah.
He's just loud. Nothing against you. You're a cool
Oh.
guy, ain't you? You're just loud. That's all. That's literally it.
Oh.
Explosive is the word.
You do be loud sometimes. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, to be fair, I do spread a bit of bombs every now and then. But yeah.
No, you're good folk though.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing against your fam.
Mm-hmm.
He can be a bit autistic sometimes, but that's okay. Everyone is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was true. Fucking.
Even Jesus was known to flip a table now and then.
Holy shit. Mm.
All right, but let's get back to this fucking. I don't even know what I was doing. I was actually working, and then I'm just not because of fucking I don't know, man, people.
That's why when I pop in here and people are like, "You haven't been in here in like 4 days," I'm like, "I know."
And look how it turned out. You got the most work done probably ever.
I got the dude. I don't know if you saw that campaign creator that I built.
Yeah, I was watching that. Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah, this shit's sick as fuck. And then Ben, I'm gonna bite my tongue. I'm like, oh, why? Everybody's worried about building tools, yeah, but you're not worried about building gameplay and fun. I'm like, literally, like, built a tool to create stories and campaigns.
Oh, I just realized that's what he was referencing. Oh, Ben, sometimes.
Yeah,
Ben.
he just always has to do it to me too, and it's super annoying. So I'm like, what, fam? He didn't have nothing to say afterwards, though. So
He gonna do what he gonna do.
Keep on the foot.
I'm trying to get this fucking. Wow.
Bro, even 9. Oh my god.
Oh no! I'm trying to get this fucking. I just need this fucking software to take off, man, so I never have to work.
yeah, fuck, you're telling me.
Everybody now in tech is trying to start like these SaaS companies. You guys know what SaaS is?
Yeah.
But I get it, man. It's for a good reason. Like if it's a really good way for passive income. If granted, you've actually made something people do want to use, of course.
Do you remember when like smartphones first came out and everyone was like, "Oh, there's an app for that"? I feel like we're in that era again, but with AI. Everyone's like, "Oh, there's an agent for that."
Yeah.
And it wasn't very long before none of it mattered because there was way too much of it anyway, and nobody really cared, and everybody just uses the same 5 apps now anyway. You know, I think that's where we're gonna go. I am so over all the fucking AI hoopla though. This shit's annoying.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't necessarily pro AI, but I'd be lying if I said that. And to be honest, I'm quite thankful for it in my workflow anyway. It's just made things more possible that I wasn't.
Yeah. So much faster, right? Like that campaign creator, right? Like I used the shit out of GPT for that.
Oh yeah.
I could have done it myself, but it would have taken like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I used GPT, I got that shit done in like a day and a half, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't necessarily agree with it in terms of art and stuff. Like I do understand the pushback regarding, you know, animation, 3D modeling, filmmaking, paint, artwork, what. But as far as like programming in my workflow personally, helped a ton. Even this fucking Arctic game that I've been working on, it's not something I have the capacity for under any other circumstance. Job.
Yeah.
But because of AI, I have been able to work on it on the side. And I miss working on stuff. It's been nice.
Yeah, but AI is going to kill you.
You know what? I wanted to die anyway. So
Top elegant.
I'm ready to die.
Already.
I'm like 50-50 on the art side of it all, because like
I'm not.
I don't know. I mean,
I'd say use the art. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, don't like I can't even say don't use it like raw. You could. I wouldn't like think ill of someone using it just as it is.
Exactly.
Because it does make good art. My capsule art right now is purely AI, right? Because I was just like, oh, I need a title, right? Like, here, just spit it out, and it looked really good. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll leave that alone for a minute.
Jerome, have I told you the reason why I think
They are very funny at the moment. Okay, now I need to also bind down to the core. How Spine works in itself, we can encounter these kind of bugs. That is normal. It's gonna be, I'm sure it's gonna be fixed as soon as I tell Nate by the end of the day anyway. Okay, but back here, so never mind, no linked mesh, we're stuck with this beautiful body. We're gonna use that. Then let's go. I want to use weights, and I'm going to weight this. Dun dun dun. I knew I was going to live dangerously when I chose to use the latest beta version, but I had to show you the beauty of new things. So I feel like it was a calculated risk. Okay, so here I added these 3 bones at first. I'm not adding the rest for now, but that's okay, because I can always add them later and I don't need them for now. So I can just focus on that part of the rigging process. And it's already good. This is so good. I did not even have to change the pants. Now, what do we spot as problems? I can already tell that here in the lower part, the hips are moving. That's not good, because it means that when this is rotating, that gluteus maximum is not looking very nice. It needs to be stuck in the same place without moving that much. So let's open the weights panel here. And we're going to be changing the weights. Okay, so weights, I box select these 4 vertices that I know that need to be stuck in place. And so I'm going to be raising the hips to 100%. Look at this now. Not moving anymore. Yeah, I feel like this is already working. I don't need to do okay, what about this? It's gonna be the same? No. 777. Okay, let's pretend that we're mimicking this. So this is a trick that we're not gonna care anymore about the fact that I don't have other vertices here. Why? Because all of this area is going to be, actually let me separate that nicely. Okay, it's gonna be influenced by the hips, so it does not matter. Like, if you want, you could add maybe 2 more just to be sure, but they are, I don't think they are necessary. For now, we're not gonna use them. And let's add, okay, I'm going to bind also these 2 bones here. Okay, we bound the bones. Now it's very important to also get another piece of the puzzle, which is the 3D effect that needs to happen on the body and on the arms. That is achieved by creating, yeah, I'm typing spaces in here. That is achieved by creating a transform constraint that uses this arm back as the bone that is going to be constrained, so it follows the bone in the front. So new transform constraint, and then we pick the bone here. Okay, then I'll call these shoulder bone in the front. So new transform constraint, and then we pick the bone here. Okay. Then I'll call these shoulders perspective. Okay. Then I'm going to match the position, and I'm not gonna see any changes unless I link these sliders and turn it on, and it stays in place. Very nice. Okay, I actually only want to translate this but not rotate it with that. So I'm going to turn only the translation on, maybe like this. Okay, that's nice. Then the result is going to be, let's test in animate mode. If I set it to 100, it moves with it. I set it to minus 100. Actually, since they are separate, let me remember. Yeah, okay, that's good. I actually don't need this one. I only need the other one. Yeah, to control the... Do I want the other one or not? Maybe I do. And how about we also add relative in it? Or the local axis? What if I check local? Then it changes the way it moves. What about relative? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, let's not make a mess here. So for this, let me go back. I'm trying something new. I'm going to press match again. No, actually I want to turn this off at first. Then I'm going to press relative, and then it does not let me match. And it moves. Okay, I cannot use relative. That's okay. Never mind. Because then I wouldn't have the precise placement of the parts. That's cool. Okay, then let's go back here. It's just as I was doing here. Maybe at this point, maybe I want to have a -50. So it also moves, okay, up and down a little bit. But not as much vertically, only a little bit. Okay. Then, since we have these working, yeah, and it was doing that, let's copy this frame. Okay, so it's doing it again. I'm going to create a new shoulder test animation. And for these, I'm going to, oh, by the way, okay. And for these, I'm going to move these in some testing positions. So here on the top, then on frame 40, again, I'm keying this, then it goes down, then it goes to one side. No, it cannot go too far away. And then it will go like this. Ah, yeah. Okay, I'm getting it a little bit more in the middle. And then when it's going down, yeah, again, more in the middle. Okay, so now I have a testing animation where we have it cycling doing this movement, right? So we can assign the weights to get these to be 3D. So how do we do this? We first have to identify the vertices that are going to be 100% influenced by the extremes. That's to make it easy for us. Okay, these two, for example, are going to be for sure extremes. So we can go in here and choose arm front and assign 100% of the weight there. Okay, then we go on these two and we assign 100% of arm back here, so they follow. Okay, this makes it a lot easier to figure out the rest of the weights. And what about
life is brilliant.
head, and that got me pretty far.
Yeah,
Well,
it's partly the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Another big thing I think people just from what I've seen in general have a harder time these days, like drawing conclusions or taking concepts and like making a connection. Right? I mean, like, oh, I learned A and then I learned B, and based off both of those, C must be true. Right?
yeah, that shit's funny too, because it's like, nope.
Yeah, like
oftentimes
that
it
level
may
of
fall in there, but nope.
abstracted like thinking and conceptual thinking and stuff has like really gone the wayside, even in like the 20s age range, right? And then listening to my fiance, who now teaches middle school, and all of her coworkers talk when we go to like their get-togethers and shit, like the level of just like understanding, like non-understanding and common sense that these kids have these days. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I really am starting to think that we need to invent a class, a mandatory class. One of those, one of those classes that it's not an elective. So yeah, mandatory, where you teach them common sense.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds stupid and so sad, but like, I'm sorry, but to be honest, common sense is not taught.
No,
right?
Logical reasoning and deduction.
Typically it's learned, and a lot like I'm talking about like learned through experience, and unfortunately, kids, at least with their parents, didn't really let them go out and obtain that knowledge, that experience.
It's the literal scientific process, right? Fuck around and find out.
Exactly.
That is so the reason why that I would say there's less common sense, right, is not even necessarily like I don't think a class like that would necessarily be needed. The problem is that you have like these different subjects, math, you have like your writing stuff, and then you have some kind of like science-ish. Like it could be about physics, it could be about your physics class, right? And yeah, they teach you about these three subjects, but what they really teach you as well is how to think. They teach you how to think. And kids these days, and it was during my generation and more now, I would say, don't actually learn these subjects really. They just don't.
Absolutely.
So they're not actually being taught how to think.
They're
a
just
lot of it
doing
is
what they're told. Yeah.
a lot of it is just memorization, and it was that way when I was in school too, right? Like you learn this way, and as long as you give the same answer every time, right, then you are good, right? And so it's just a lot of rote memorization of facts, which is important because facts are data points, but the true point of having that data, the value, comes from being able to infer and make inferences from those data points, right? And
But it's not all memory, right? It's like when you look at, for example, math, if you think about it, what you're doing is you have
a formula and you learn how to plug it in, but there's another there must be a specific way of how you plug it in eventually.
Yeah, that is the case, but you're still learning how to get to like a solution.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say, is like there's always some information missing when you plug it in.
Exactly, yeah.
It's all about how to redirect those wires.
So yeah, in a way it is about memorizing, but while you're memorizing, you're also learning how to actually think. Just thinking in general is something that you actually do have to learn.
Dude, I always thought like a really good tool for like a toddler to learn this way, to like teach them kind of like a pragmatic method, is to give them like a wires that are kind of like mixed and jumbled up, right?
Yeah.
And the only way, like these wires, they turn something on and allow you to use it. Kind of just think of like just turning on a light, right? And the only way that they could use it is if they learn to plug in the right plug into the right socket. And you won't know which one you have to do until you do it in a certain order, right? And so you understand that you have to undo the wires, you have to plug the plug in the right one, you have to figure out which wire comes from where, etc., right?
Yeah.
It's just so they could get it. It's just like a really simple method of saying, take one step at a time, make it nice, obtain some common knowledge, right?
Learn
yeah.
to plug stuff into the
like I really do feel like to some degree pragmatism influences some common knowledge.
Yeah. Well, and then the parents need to like foster that too.
Absolutely.
We don't see that anymore.
Oh, it sucks how we were
'Cause I
feeling,
remember,
man.
like, my dad would always be like, "Hey, boy, you see that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "Well, go get it." I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Right? Yeah,
It's
go
a
get it,
live
bring it
wire,
over
Dad.
here. Let's talk about it. Right? Yeah. Right. But then he'd be like, he'd teach me, "Do you know why that does that?" I'm like, "No." And he'd be like, "'Cause this." I'd be like, "Oh, okay. Why?
Yeah,
Why do I give a yeah?" And I'd be like, "Why do I care?" Right? And he's like, "Oh, fuck. Why don't you?" And I'm like, "Huh."
One beautiful thing. I've heard some
it's like-
reports. I don't know how true this is. That the actual literacy rate in certain places is actually going down. I think in the
it's
U.S.
absolutely-
also in other countries.
It's going down globally too, sadly.
Yeah. And what's
It's
crazy about
terrible
that?
here.
If you just think about writing, right? So you're writing something. Okay, that's great. You learn how to write. But if you look at it, if you actually analyze what that is, what you're really doing is you're putting something that's in your head and you're putting it outside. You're basically putting something that's inside your head outside. So you're learning how to get ideas into the real world. Is what you're doing when you're writing.
It's learning how to communicate your thoughts through paper.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's
questioning those
fucking
thoughts, too.
important, man. Not knowing how
Absolutely.
to fucking get your thoughts that are in your head outside into the world. How
Right,
the
it's like,
fuck
hey,
are
you want to
gonna
play
do shit?
Pictionary?
Right. And reading, right? It's the other side of that coin. They're both very important.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, to bring up
I
my
always
dad. again,
hated
right? Like,
reading and writing. And honestly, I wish I did it more as a kid, right? But I see now how really fucking important it actually can be to,
Yeah,
I'm not saying they need to 24/7 do that, but just getting that idea in your head, in or out, whatever, depending what you do, it's such. That's why we have fucking people like this that just can't fucking listen. They can't get their own thoughts out. And that's why they have no common sense, is because any situation they're in, they're just not registering really what's going on, or they can't get it in their head.
mm-hmm.
It's
I
such a
remember,
shame too.
I only remember
Such a
like
shame.
one time of when I couldn't read, and it was when I was like registering for kindergarten, and they had all these there was a kiosk with free lunch boxes, and I had a sign that said free lunch boxes, and my dad's like, "Oh, here, take one of these," and I was like, "What?" And I opened it, and there's like food in it, right? And they had like free snacks for kids enrolling in school, but I'm like, "This is some kid's lunch, Dad. You're gonna like steal this?" And he was like, "No, they're free," and I like questioned the shit out of it because I couldn't read the sign. And he's like, "No, that's what it says." And I'm like, "But I don't know that." Right?
Dude,
You could
I
tell
had
me
something
that all
si-
day, but
I had something similar like that, Akuji, except for that when my mother gave it to me and said it was free. Like I was able to read and all that, but what went through my head is I couldn't fathom what the fuck free was.
yeah.
Right?
So-
I'm like, I had to do something for this. What did I do?
Yeah. And that's something I think is, again, you're not rewarded for being curious. Even in my generation, right? It'd always be like, "Oh, you must have ADHD or something. You're fidgeting or you're fiddling." And I'm like, "No, dog, I'm I'm learning things. I'm
Trying to figure
curious."
this shit out.
Yeah, like I'm trying to get
Yeah.
comfortable and do this because I'm used to doing something else.
Yeah. I'm
my
like, "No,
my
I
brain's
wanna know
wired differently,
things."
jackass. How about that one?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm curious, and people
So
don't have
really
curiosity these days.
The problem isn't that common sense needs to come from something else. It's that we're just not teaching these things that would naturally result into common sense anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know-
spot on.
I know it's kind of reaching here, but I truly have this theory where I think that we are because of how well, no, like every generation seems to live a little bit longer, right? So I'm thinking when a generation starts to grow in its lifespan, its mental maturity rate, the the rate at which it can mature, is actually gappened. I know that's not the right word here, but the gap grows, right? So like the ability to be a sponge actually soaks up a lot slower, and when it starts learning is also a lot later in life as well. And that's like exactly why I'm thinking. I understand that earlier in humanity's time, we made 18 an adult, and then we were starting to look at the brain. We realized, hey, now it's around 27, 28 when the brain's fully matured and developed in some sense, right? And what goes through my head is, was that true 30, 40 years ago, 60 years, 70 years ago? And which leads me back to the whole theory of maybe it's just that we are too young to start learning. I know for me, I would have excelled if I started learning later rather than earlier.
I don't know. I know for me, like I learned, but again, I had a father who was like very proactive in teaching and learning and all that shit, and I think that is a huge.
That's important.
It's the whole reason I was able to be a lifelong learner, so to speak.
Yeah, plus you have to be willing to learn. That's the other thing that a lot of people kind of like just don't listen to, right? Because
Well,
that's what I'm trying to get at is like the will.
Like,
true, it's about the will to learn. Yeah, I do get. Yeah, I mean, for me, I went through literal pains. So
I was also one of those kids that I didn't understand why I needed to learn things. And that was that was really the problem that I was having for a very long time, was like, what the fuck is the point of me doing all this shit? Like, I didn't see it, and nobody really explained it to me either. Nobody explained to me, oh yeah, you're learning because of this and that. Yeah, well, you're doing it to get a job. Yeah, fuck you. I don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah, like, I'm doing it to get a site. Really, shut up.
Yeah, like, why am I really learning? Nobody really actually fucking. Why do I have to write things that I'm not going to use?
Yeah, that was some of that too. Is that you can't like. That's like you got to take your medicine. You know what I mean? Because like it's hard. Like I don't think you're really going to convey why a 8-year-old needs to know what they're learning, right? Like but
that's where
you don't
like I
need
lean
to
into
necessarily. You just have to get them to do it so you make it fun. Right, and that's where like gamification, and that's where a lot of like the ed tech stuff that I've done in my job has been focused on, is making learning fun, so that they don't even realize that they're being taught things. And again, it goes to my dad teaching me shit on the computer, right? And one time, and he tells me all the time that I looked up one time and I was like, "You're trying to teach me something," and he was like, "Well, you're having fun, aren't you?" And I was like, well, shit. Yeah, I guess that doesn't matter, does it? Huh? All right.
And
cool.
That's what I think schools should heavily lean into, is that they should identify, because every kid, they show some sort of interest in something, right? And you should just lean into learning that first, because the kid most likely will try and learn it on their own if given the opportunity, right? Yep. And then you slowly give them more room for it. When I was younger, the way my school, or at least teachers, approached it was that, well, you have to learn this first in order to learn that. And I'm like, what? No, this is stupid. I could easily learn metalwork without having to learn about thermodynamics, okay? I know you heat a metal up to a certain temperature and then you bang on it to get a shape. I'm not stupid in that fashion where I have to be school educated to learn how to metalwork.
Yeah.
Sorry, how to smelt.
Or smelt. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I got a little personal there, but I was making a point. Like, there's some practical knowledge that a lot of kids can easily lean into, and if it's not practical, just any knowledge in general, we should just be leaning into that interest, because while people will call it hyperfixation, I will say it's the entry point for their gate that allows them to lean into other things.
Well,
right?
that's up to a certain age.
It's the healthy side of learning, right? It's not forcing yourself to learn when you really just can't.
That's up to a certain age, as I said. Like these, especially want to wear a leather jacket because they can't scratch or bite through it.
That's
just
based
sounds
on
like
all their lab
Yeah.
tests and real life zombie tests.
it sounds like
just-
it's all bullshit. I'm like,
Nah,
Is that
really
peer
don't.
reviewed?
Just wear yourself a metal armor case at that point. You're fine. No zombie's gonna kill you after that.
Well, didn't they do it
just
in like
because they're
season
undead
one
and they
of
have
Walking
inhuman
Dead?
strength.
You just cover yourself in fucking rotting biomass, and they'll
Right.
fucking think you're one of them.
You know, like that's the one thing I'll never understand about zombies. I could ignore about how the fact that they're alive and dead at the exact same time. I question how the fuck are they able to smell? How are they able to detect? And how are they able to do all this other stuff, right? If all these parts of the brain are technically functioning and the only thing that's there is the sense of consciousness, then why the hell are they, like, why are they considered dead or unalive?
Well, I always
Or-
think of it in the context of
I
like
don't
a
know, so
virus,
moving.
right? Like a virus is
Yeah, it's
still like
virus.
a parasite. And so it still
Yeah.
has the capability of using your olfactory.
It's a little, isn't it a little bit like rabies in a way, where
I
if you
never
have
took that
rabies
into
and
the
you
case.
start biting people, you're already dead, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never took that into the case because I've always been told the stupid story of you kind of just died and there were parts of your brain that were still functioning, kind of like a fish that out of water. Once it's fully suffocated, it can still move, and once you cut it all up, you still have parts of the fish move.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, the
kind of like
muscle,
frog
muscle
leg.
spasms. Yeah,
Yeah,
Where
kind of like
I
frog
think a
legs with
chicken,
salt.
actually, like a chicken, you cut off its head in one go, and it can still walk around.
There was a chicken
yeah,
that
but it
survived
depends on-
for like 20 fucking years with no head, dude. It was part of
Yeah,
like
and
sideshow.
that
Yeah,
all depends
look it
on the
up.
specific part of the head.
Look
too.
it up, dude. It was on a sideshow. It was just like travel around the country. It was a headless fucking chicken, dude. It lived for like 10 years, bro. No joke.
And that was only
Man.
because the part of the head that got cut wasn't properly cut.
Mm-hmm.
But
You have to cut a very specific
when it
spot.
comes
That's why nowadays
to-
we pull the head.
When it comes to
actually quite
zombies that
vicious.
come out of graves, that's just magic, right? We can all agree that's just magic.
Well, there was like a Haitian. I don't know if
Yeah,
it's a legend
yeah.
or not, but like a
Magic.
Haitian dude used like a sleeping powder to basically like zombify his neighbors. It, like knocked them the fuck out, and then he went and like dug them up after they got buried alive, and nobody realized they were actually dead. And then yeah, he was using them as like zombie slave labor. It's
That's
a Haitian
wild.
Yeah, look up
Pretty good
Haitian
idea.
zombies. It's a thing.
Yeah, so either it's zombies from magic, virus, most is virus, but yeah. But obviously, it still doesn't explain how the fuck they're able to like stay in an area for like multiple fucking years, maybe even, and still not fucking like starve to death. But
Or understand and take commands. Yeah, like I think to myself, if they're rotting flesh and constantly decaying, how is it that tendons, which typically are the first to go in that manner, able to keep it up? It's like kind of like necromancy of a skeleton army. How the hell is the skeleton even moving? It's got only bones.
Well, I could
It's-
see, you
all you
could
got
say
is-
the virus like prevents that from happening or some shit, right? But it still doesn't explain how the
I don't know.
fucking the nutrition, the actual energy, the joules.
Yeah, that's required to be put through. Exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
The
Yeah.
jewels, that's the energy. You're right. I was trying to think of it earlier when we were talking about the biomass. And
Yeah,
all
the
that
joules or
creating.
what was the other thing?
We say
Joules or just
JULES, and people are like, "You mean JUULES?" Or sorry,
kilojoules.
JEWLS? What do you mean JEW? Man, I've met some people like that. It's crazy.
Everything is fucking joules, man. Joules, joules, joules.
Yeah. I can't wait until we finally release how we could actually produce more than we can store. Like we release to the people that we're managed to produce more than we can use within the same circuit, right? So like there's the production we put into a battery, and then there's battery capacity. But if we take out the battery capacity and make it constant live, make it a live consistent consumption, we've managed to create a circuit that managed to overload it. I don't know why we haven't released that kind of information to the public, but I don't know why we just haven't spoken about it.
You fall into that group.
No, I'm telling you, it exists. We have many forms of it.
I know all about what you're gonna school me about, and that's why I said you fall into that group. I know exactly.
Okay, when you say it like that, it made it sound like a really negative connotation. I'm like, no,
it was.
I don't know why we keep things like. Oh, okay. Like, I'm still
What I don't
befuddled.
get is when you have like a
with this
power
kind of shit.
extension cord and you put it in one. If you put like make a loop, why is there no infinite energy? Oh my god, man.
Really?
All right, okay, hold on. Before we continue this,
You're gonna do that to me, man?
who
That's so
here in
dirty.
this chat tried to fucking get infinite energy
By
using
plugging
a
the power strip.
Yeah.
Why you call me out like that?
That's what I'm
tried,
saying.
bro.
Like,
I was like,
this man's so dirty.
or it was like, I would be like a kid. I would fucking try to scream in a glass or like a bottle or something like that. And I would assume that if I screamed in it and I released whatever is covering it, the sound would then like come back again.
Yeah.
Like the sound would actually be trapped in a bottle, for example.
But that's how I know that you were a curious kid. You know what I mean? You were like, why does this work this way? And I bet you, even though everybody says it doesn't, I can probably fucking make it happen.
Dude,
do it until I prove to myself that I can't, and then I'll believe
you-
everybody.
You were the kid who tried yelling in a bottle to see why you couldn't trap sound. I was a kid who tried farting in a bottle and wondered why it didn't smell bad.
Fair enough.
I'm like,
All right, who here?
I know
this
how
one is
container
crazy.
can-
This one is really crazy. Who here thought at first that when they were a kid that children came out of the butt?
No. I usually put two and two together. I knew what a vagina was when I was 5, and I wasn't told it. I didn't even know the name. I just knew that there was an innie and there was an outie, and because I was an outie, there had to be an innie.
Well, Ash did.
I did as
Mom
well.
told me I came
Yeah?
out of the
Damn.
butt. Damn, that's crazy.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a vagina, so I just thought it was like, okay, what's the only opening? Yeah, it's a butt. Of course it is.
So you believe that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was like really young, right? But I actually did
guys are
believe
butt
that
buddies.
children came out of butts. That's what I thought.
Wait, they
It's
don't?
so stupid, but it is a pretty common thing.
Shut up, Kuji.
It is a pretty common thing. Like a lot of kids think this that they come out of butts.
I feel like I was probably the more perverted kind of character as a child. And
Fair enough,
that's the
then.
only reason for it, just like I had a theory and my theory was kind of proven and I just waited until it happened, I guess.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw dirty magazines when I was a kid, so I was like,
Ah,
what the
lucky.
fuck is that? No, the first
Lucky.
time I
Even when you see that,
The
even when you
first
see
time I
that,
saw a
it's like,
vag, dude, I was like, "Whoa, that is not." I'm like, I'm like,
Man's
that's so
Hank
gross
Hill.
looking."
I don't want to go through too
Yeah,
much.
dog.
Oh, well.
I was not ready as a child. I was like, "That's gross looking."
Man, just the idea. But you have to. It's just so funny to me that I used to think, and that there is a lot of other people that used to think that kids came out of butts. Like I just think that's so fucking funny.
Dude,
It's so
I
ridiculous.
thought that too, bro.
Yeah. It's fucking. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've heard about it and I was actually befuddled when I heard it. I'm like, really?
Befuddled.
What?
It's weird that it's so common. I think
Yeah,
it's pretty common.
I'm like I thought I believed in these other weirder things, and when I look back at it now, I kind of blame the parents because like odds are you were told by some either the parent or someone older than you because they were too embarrassed to tell you what something was, and you believed them for their word because you know you couldn't really challenge them or get any other proof. All you had was to believe what they had to say. My dad kind of did that to me, and I looked really stupid to some people.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually thought about it logically myself, just like Jerome. I was like, the problem was that I saw the butt actually as a hole that could like open and from the front, I just thought there wasn't enough space. Like it didn't make sense to me that there could come something out of it. So I logically assumed that it would have to be the butt.
You're like, man, I've taken some big shits, but I've never taken a big piss.
What brought us?
Yeah, exactly. Kind of
I've
like,
taken a big shit, but I've also taken a big piss.
What genuinely brought us to this conversation?
Anyways,
What happened?
Yeah,
We're
infinite
talking about
electricity.
human
Yeah, I thought there was
biomass
infinite
energy,
electricity
infinite
as a kid as
electricity
well.
and butt babies.
Yeah, infinite electricity.
I think everybody thought that.
Perfect
babies
month for
came out
it
of
too, by the
butts.
way.
That's crazy. Yeah. Anything else that was stupid that you believed as a kid?
That you actually
So-
could talk to insects.
Damn.
Like they would be able to understand you. That one was
I mean,
pretty
you can.
stupid.
You can. They just won't respond.
Oh yeah.
No,
oh yeah.
they won't.
you're
They
right.
won't. What I was saying is they would understand you. That's why I re-clarified.
No, I'm fucking around. Yeah.
I mean, because to a degree, you're right. You can talk to anything, and it's not like anything's gonna actually listen or
I
comprehend.
don't think it's like
You can
that
talk to a book. It's not like it's
listening,
gonna
I
be
just
able to
think that
understand.
It's like not. It doesn't understand what the heck you're saying.
Yeah. No, I was doing the same thing he was, and I guess the joke's still on me. Oh well.
Yeah, that's fair. No, obviously I'd have misconceptions about flying. Like I would think that like it would be really easy to use maybe like some kind of thing to glide with, I guess. So
Glide.
I mean, because I watched Toy Story, I kind of knew we were always falling, and that the jets were just propulsion systems. Like they were something that made me move forwards.
Yeah.
So I logically I thought, okay, something's pushing me up.
There was a movie when I was a kid called Radio Flyer. About, I guess the kid's parents were drunks, and I didn't realize that, and his dad like abused him and shit. But so the kid wanted to fly away, and so he took his red Radio Flyer wagon and put wings on it, and he like takes it off of a fucking cliff, and he's gonna go fly away. Well, I never saw the end of the movie, so I thought for the longest time that like you could just build aircraft like that. Like, so I was like, I'm gonna
you
put wings
kind
on
of
my bike.
can. It's just
right?
like not in that way.
Well, I remember saying it to like my babysitter one day, and I was like, "Yeah, you could just put wings on things and they'll fly, right? Like any vehicle can fly with wings."
Bruh.
And they were like,
I
"Why?"
bet-
I'm like, "Haven't you ever seen Radio Flyer?" And they're like, "When the kid dies and falls
You
off a
got to
cliff, and
teach
his
your
drunk
children
parents."
school.
And I was like, "Oh." I never saw the end of the movie. I just assumed he flew.
I used to think that you could hold your breath in space.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Dude, I used to think that
I didn't
balloons
understand
would just like
space.
go to
I
space
didn't.
and then stay there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just
Had
didn't understand
millions of
space. I
balloons
didn't.
orbiting the Earth.
I didn't know that when you go in outer space, you have a legitimate force against your lungs for oxygen. I'm like, okay, that's scary as shit. Having something it feels like someone's hand is literally going in every orifice of your body, every open orifice of your body, trying to grab for that oxygen. It's scary as shit to think about.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm trying to set the horizontal alignment on this like text box to the center, but it ain't working.
Yeah, I mean, there would be a lot of other stupid things, but yeah, just of it was.
I think one of my other stupid ones was there's a specific type of beetle, the horned beetle. The thought was that you can harvest many hundreds of beetle wings, and then blow some air through the beetle wings, and that air will cause you levitation because of the vibrations that go through the wings.
I've never
heard of that. Fuck. Process of thinking.
When I got some stupid stuff, it was crazy stupid.
Little kids.
Oh yeah, no, I was little. I the first thing I did when I was 3 years old was bug catching. I would be able to catch every single insect by hand without harming them. It was, yeah. So I mean, we were all different kinds of people, I guess, but my perspective was definitely different on things.
Why is this thing?
There might have also been a time where I thought you could walk on clouds.
Oh yeah, I thought that too at some point. I'm like, if they're made of water and boats are a thing, like you got to be able to like cloud surf or something, right? Like,
I used to think
imagination.
I didn't actually way back. Like I didn't know really what clouds were, to be honest. So obviously at some point I understood, but I didn't really fully understand what it was. So I could definitely see I knew it would be soft. I would assume that it would be soft, but it's kind of like, yeah, I just thought you could be able to walk on it. It's also kind of because a lot of the things like that is also because of movies, to be honest. Like you'll have movies where they'll be walking in clouds.
Yeah. Fucking Mario, bro.
Yeah, for example, yeah.
There's a lot of shorts that actually did that.
Yeah.
That's definitely misleading for sure. I feel you on that one.
Well, it's with a lot of things, right? A lot of things because of movies. I thought you could do it, but I would say that's not too stupid because that's not something that you came up with yourself that was really dumb.
Yeah, I wouldn't call you stupid for it. You definitely had influence to think that, to some degree, this was reality.
Yeah. Whereas, like the infinite electricity thing, that was just fucking my own logic being dumb as fuck. Trying to get infinite electricity.
Not gonna lie, pizza was a letdown the first time I ever had it.
Oh,
because up until then,
Dude,
every fucking cartoon I had ever seen, it was this like just goopy, cheesy, sloppy, like, oh, fucking pizza, right? And then the first time I got a slice of pizza, I was like,
such a letdown. I was the exact same way with the T-bone steak. I'm like, I wanted the kind of steak that would be fed to the lions. I'm like, I want that. And then when they gave it to me, they're like, yeah, this is what it is. I'm like, that's not what I know.
This sucks.
Like, what is this? This is not the same one. I want the one with the little hole in the middle. The little circle thing.
Yeah.
That marrow looks good. I think the newest one in terms of, just thinking stupid is probably aliens. The more I think about it, the less I believe that there's life out in outer space, and the more I think that the things that we call alien are actually subspecies that have been on this planet for a very, very long time, and we just haven't exposed it to anyone.
Yeah.
Right?
They've been here
like,
longer than us, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, I think about it to this day, and all that goes to my head is, we can't be the only species who have ever tried to actually progress. I mean, it makes no sense. Even in the what's that one game made by Spore? There we go. Even Spore proves that life could still thrive, and intelligent life can evolve and thrive underwater. When there is a lack of when there is more or a lack of resource, right? Because it all describes urgency, right? That
But I think
that
it's
was the
both
whole.
too.
Sure. I'll also omit to that as well. But what I'm getting at is the game proves that the possibility of life is not only on land.
No, of course not, right?
Yeah, and
there's like those or the supposition that like you gotta have oxygen, right? Like there's
Yeah.
life that lives on those like underground volcanic things. Like I don't know what the name of them is, but they basically live in like underwater sulfuric volcanic fucking poisonous conditions, and they
Yeah,
live
absolutely.
there and thrive, right?
Absolutely.
It's
And-
very
and that-
egocentric to think every biological organism operates the same as we do.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, even if we had had aliens and they managed to obtain some sort of quote unquote mysterious technology that we have not been able to develop, I'm like, it's not that at all. It just simply can't be. And it's not that I want to outright deny it, of course, because I would love to know that there is life outside of Earth as well, right? At least of life that we do not determine to be the same as us. But I'm not also for like full clarification, I'm not afraid of anything unique. I've dreamt things far more scary than the shit that we have yet to discover underneath the water, like blobfish, for example.
Blobfish.
I don't know if it's like the CIA or I think it's the CIA, but they have released their documents and have a few times now, but it's coming more recent again. That's, but it's more in the popular zeitgeist now. But they have documentation on 4 different extraterrestrial or non-human biological entities that they've communicated in.
Yeah, and I truly do believe those that they're referring to are just ones that have already been on, like have already grew up with us.
They were already here. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it makes no sense to say that something didn't evolve ahead of time before us, because it's that Futurama subject, right? If there is a God, then the God is what created us. If there is no God, then there had to be some element that made us, right? There had to be some external influence that allowed us to evolve beyond our current capacity found throughout historic times.
Yeah,
It's either that or
definitely
we're
had to
making a
have, like,
miscorrelation.
spark. There had to have been something that happened to put that intelligence into us, not just us, but all life, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's hard to consider otherwise, But I'm of the belief that, like, if there's so much evidence of things, right? Even if you don't have proof, but you have evidence overwhelmingly,
Yeah.
you gotta start to kind of be like, well, all right, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
So when I see,
gotta
like,
let go.
yeah, when same with like dragons, right? Like every civilization across the planet agrees that like dragons were a thing, but like we have never seen a dragon, right? And I'm like,
you want to
well,
hear
what
the
if there
weird
were
thing about dragons
dinosaurs that
too?
lived, longer than we thought, right? Or like,
Right. Did you hear this crazy theory that maybe dragons are actually just not what we paint them as either? Like even in biblical texts, for example, they're not serpents at all whatsoever. Like they're not they have no legs. They're not dragon-like, but they still fall under the category of dragon. It's actually kind of interesting how like some of these biblical creatures that we've painted have connotations of life that actually do not portray the very life we have on Earth. That's the one I think is very mysterious, right? Because every time we make some sort of book or story, we always like make some sort of reference to what's on Earth, which, to be honest, I feel is stupid. That's where the whole I think is stupid come from, and that's only because I understand if something's foreign or alien, we do not know how to describe it. So the only way we can is to use something that's familiar, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, we got simple shapes for crying out loud. We should use those instead. We have primitives. I think that's the reason why we will never be shown stuff like this ever again in our entire lives. Is only because something like a fractal actually has a name now, right?
Yeah.
Before we
What do
wouldn't
they
know
say?
how
I
to
think it
describe a
was
fractal.
Arthur C. Clarke is attributed to saying that like any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic, right? So
Yep, yep. And I remember how old that is too. It's crazy how old that. Yeah, go on.
but yeah, so like, you know, there was they're called cargo cults, right? So there was like some, I think it's like Indonesian islands or something, but during World War II, they saw planes flying over delivering care packages. They'd never seen planes before. And so the pilots, you know, giving relief to the warfighters saw these, you know, fucking people down there, right? These like native tribes, and they started dropping care packages for them too, right? Well, then the war stopped, right? And this plane stopped coming. So these people built fucking planes out of sticks to honor the fucking sky gods that were giving them food, right? And dropping
I
these
remember that,
packages from
yeah.
the sky. Yeah, right. So like to them, what was just some simple, normal, everyday shit for us was God to them. They were like, oh my God, what is this manna that is raining from the sky, feeding us magically for 40 years through the desert? You know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah.
when you look at things in that context, it's easy to see
How
like,
easy it is to misinterpret things, yeah.
Yeah, like when, you know, the savior, and it's like every culture has it, where like the savior comes down from the sky on like their flaming chariot of gold, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, it
It's just
kind of sounds like a fucking spacecraft or something.
The question I have after that, though, is what are we going to start to say when, you know, while we would be considered primitive, right, and compared to it, but let's say there was something, right? What would we describe or say about it then? Would we use the same way of describing it? Would we go differently? You know what I mean? Like, how would we go about it? Would we just all fear and shock and not, you know, or just awe and awe?
I think it's different for different folks, right? Like, as controversial as it is, though, one of the like alien races is the Nordics, the tall whites, right? One of the like prevailing beliefs is they come from a land called Agartha, and it lives in the middle of our fucking Earth, in the hollow Earth. And Hitler believed that the center of Antarctica or the South Pole had a hole to Agartha in the inner Earth, and that's where these Nordic, tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, perfect race of human, you know, the Aryans, basically came from, right? And that was why he was on that. And they were building like the Nazi Bell, which was supposed to be a UFO based off of reverse-engineered aircraft, and they built New Schwabenland in the research base on Antarctica and shit. And that's all like real historical fact, right? Like Hitler believed that they did those things, right? But there's also like archaeological proof that, you know, there's they were there doing more than we even knew that they were doing, right? Based off the remains of the bases that were found down there and shit, and like the lost Argentinians. But you can't really you can't talk about that shit without somebody like coming right in and being like, you know, fucking blah blah blah, like, you know, some crazy ass like, oh, you're a Hitler sympathizer. Like, no, like,
yeah, the kind of people who just make it difficult to talk about.
You're just listening to. I'm not saying I subscribe to any of that shit, but I'm not gonna like hear it,
of course,
and just wave it away, right? And be like, oh yeah, why do you think this, right?
Yeah.
If it's outlandish, I'm gonna be like, is it outlandish or is it not? If it is, it is, and I'm like, you're a fucking nut.
Well, I would say if it is, what would make it outlandish, right?
Yeah.
Like
well, it goes back to we don't know what we don't know. So, like, yeah, again, at some point, people thought that we were the center of the universe and the sun revolved around us. But that's not the case. Until we learn the next thing, and then we're going to be like, oh, yeah,
Pluto is a planet, after all, right?
Right? Fucking.
Because when I was a kid, Pluto was a planet, and then all of a sudden they're like, "No, it's not anymore." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
When
I'm
did
like,
that fucking happen?
I remember that era too, and I was thinking, what would cause this? You know, that's all. I was like, what would cause this change? I saw it over time get changed like 3 times. I'm like, okay, so technically we call Pluto something because we have no definitive answer on what it is. So I'm gonna call it what we currently call it, and be done with it, because calling it anything else will only leave room to unhappy people. Because quite frankly, knowing this, for me, I just saw it as how do I put it? Kind of just a social issue, right? I understand now it's a revolving comet because it can't be scientifically defined as one, but I guess I like every time it came to things, people saw something as something else. I took a step back. Like, I saw conflict, and I'm like, I don't need this conflict. I'm going to look at what is not considered. I'm going to look at why they're conflicting.
Pluto is a dingleberry. It is the dingleberry of our solar system.
I'll definitely say I think if Earth is to try anything, it should be with Pluto. We should launch a probe onto Pluto, have it record what its location and the stuff it sees, and then on its way back, collect it.
I think we're just about to send our last transmission to Voyager before it reaches the point of no return, which is fucking crazy to me.
It is kind of insane to think about. Like, the point of no return, you lived through that?
It's so fucking insane, right? Like, I was lucky enough, I got to tour JPL, right? The Jet Propulsion Lab for NASA.
Yeah.
And they have this tube, right? It's like a display thing, but it's a tube of lights, I guess, right? With like an array of LEDs that come up and down. And they travel at the actual speed of data, and they are like actually like representative of the data signals being sent and received to the satellites, and how long it takes for just a small amount of data to go that, and they're gotta wait like 24 hours. And I'm like, bro, like, how wild. I could talk to you across the world instantaneously. Right? This shit is so far away that it takes 24 fucking hours to talk to it. It's insane.
Yep.
And this is shit we built in almost 100, not 100, like 50 fucking years ago, right? In like the 60s and 70s.
Yep.
With punch card computer technology and shit, right? Like, it's insane.
Oh yeah, when you go into the field of electrical engineering, you have to learn about all the old shit first. And so, like, it goes to your head is just how complex a typical chip is nowadays, Like, they say, oh yeah, no, instead of having hundreds of different chips, we have maybe 4 chips with hundreds of millions of different gates.
Ridiculous, dude. How infinitesimally small it is, dude. And I'm like, man, the fact that we can even like disturb electrons to communicate with each other just to then fucking talk about bullshit and argue over like the dumbest of shit. And I'm like, dog, what are you doing?
I remember watching a video this year of a demonstration where we would use photon sensitive sensors to move an atom through a microscope. It was crazy, dude. The fact that we are able to physically manipulate an atom like that just through photon receptors is wild. Because I mean, it was with crazy accuracy too, mind you.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this is shown to the public, you always have to ask what's not being shown to the public, right?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely, dude.
Like I feel crazy every
The
time I say something like this too. Yeah,
the military
you're going where I'm
complex
going.
is so fucking ahead of. Like I say, I worked at Raytheon, right? So like, yeah, we had secret clearance and shit. We did projects for like all kinds of, mostly
Absolutely.
like DoD, Department of Defense, right? So it was all defensive, but you would have to like go into their like corporate site a lot of times to like register when you were working on programs and things and whatnot, because they got to track, where everybody's located.
Yeah, it's all private.
And yeah, and they'd be like, go on here and pick the program that you're working on. And they had shit on there, and one that caught my fucking eye was exo-atmospheric kill vehicle. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, is that like the laser defense grid? Or like, what the fuck? Exo-atmospheric kill vehicle. That's...
that reminds me of the job we have going on with the weird trash plants only for cars that are mysteriously going ablaze. Call me a conspiracy theory for this one, but when these massive car lots that are of just decaying cars randomly start, burning because they provide old parts, and then before this happened, this still happened this year though, a patent to have full surveillance of someone in a car. Yeah, in a car, mind you. Like the surveillance is, if you look weird, you can't drive. If you're panicking, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Flock
yeah.
surveillance,
Like,
it's called, dude. And the fact that people are just completely like unaware of it, and if you even mention it to people, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I remember specifically in 2012 is when I was working on that Spy Kid shit, right? We were walking down the street, and this was when smartphones were new, right? Me and my buddy Daryl were walking down the sidewalk, and we just had our phones in our pocket because, back then you weren't always on the phone. And he was telling me about this Mio water additive that he puts in his water bottles. It's like a weight loss
when it was
supplement,
brand new too.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, this new shit, you gotta try it." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm fat, right? Do I look like I drink weight loss supplements, bro? Like, come on, man, right? And then that fucking evening, I started getting ads for it on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And I was telling them, and I remember saying, I'm like, bro, they're listening to us on our phones, dude. I'm like, they're recording you. But then it really started happening all the time. I was like, no, I think for real, they're listening to you. You're being recorded on these things. No,
and then they start looking at you funny.
Nut. You were a fucking nut for bringing that up back then. Now it's common knowledge. Of course they're listening.
Yeah, it's commonplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I see things like flock surveillance, and I'm like, hasn't anybody seen the Minority Report?
No.
Basically, it's thought police, right? They'll come in the movie. They'll come and arrest you because you thought about committing a crime.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that. Something about it just made it feel like a cliche. So usually I kind of forget movies that feel cliched, or at least that's been mocked to all hell. I'm pretty sure it was a good movie, right?
I don't remember that like that. I just remember the concept of it. I'm not a big movie buff though, because
I could say I've watched a few, but I'm right there with you.
But yeah, with like dynamic pricing in Walmart now, right? I think it's the same movie where it's The Fifth Element, where like all the ads are personalized to you and shit.
Yeah, like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, but that kind of shit should be illegal. A free and open market should not be able to constrain you on your purchasing power, through an individual status, right? Because what's being theorized here is that if you make, say, $100,000 in profit after taxes and all that, they could uprise, like they could increase how much you make. How much you spend on, say, like a bag of chips. That's fucking stupid. Not only is that bad for your economy, but now you're making a permanent class. Like, if you're in a class, you're now permanently there, right? Because I'm aware that a good economy is one that you're able to move through class, right?
Do you remember in a
Where
minute?
you have the most mobility, but this is just crazy, man. Sorry,
There
go
was a
ahead.
bit ago they were talking about wanting to like put a chip, right? Like a
And your
get
thumb,
chipped
yeah.
and and
In
all your
your wrist or
money
thumb.
and your right, and that's how you
Yep.
buy everything. It's basically
And-
the swipe
and it
that we
had-
do with our card, but it would be a chip in your hand.
And it
And I'm
had
like, didn't the
major
fucking Bible
backlash.
warn you? Didn't the fucking Bible tell you not to do that? It's literally like the mark of the beast, dude. If you didn't have the mark, you wouldn't get your daily bread.
Yep. I do remember though that it had such a horrendous backlash that they actually stopped for that reason, just because of the backlash. And all that goes through my head is they're trying it again. They're trying it
Yeah.
again with a different approach.
Yep. Well, because the society, as we've seen, is just continually declining in their
And fickle.
ability to
Yeah.
think, and you know what I mean. They're building a
Yeah.
flock of sheep, so they have flock surveillance, so they can monitor the sheep and track what you're doing, right? But you can't talk openly about that and say things like that, because then you're a fucking conspiracy nut.
Yeah, I mean, I hate calling people sheep because I mean I do find myself following some days, and I mean it's
Sure.
not all that bad.
No, it's how you learn to survive and shit, right? Like if that
Yeah.
fella get walked off the cliff, I'm not gonna follow him. You know what I mean?
right. The motherfucker decided to drink the salt water. He turned out to go crazy and became even thirstier. I'm glad I'm not drinking that.
Yeah.
But someone found a fresh source of water. Yeah, I'll definitely drink that. I'll definitely build myself a shelter if I got to. You know, that kind of shit.
But that's
I
that's
understand
the
that.
danger of thinking critically, right? If we
Mhm.
mass roll out AI though, and everybody outsources their thinking, and
Yeah.
they don't think anymore and can't problem
Yeah.
solve without a little fucking chat bot, then no, they're not gonna question
Dude,
when
ever
you tell
since
them to do things.
ever since the full-fledged push of AI that almost everyone besides those in the massive corporations are, ever since, because there is no push to keep them back, and there's absolutely, like, they're still going forward with everyone giving it insane backlash, or just getting really bad press, I guess. I have this theory that makes me think that, well, sorry, not theory. Ever since they released the first AI and didn't release a single thing to protect its citizen, there's something that went through my mind and said, okay, so they're doing something and they don't seem to care. Right? Like, usually, like,